a master martial artist that once fought on the side of good and is now one of the most evil tyrants the world has ever seen. Who exactly is Chase Young? And in this video, we'll be going over the Part 3 lore of Chase Young, one of the main antagonists from the Xiaolin Showdown series. For the sake of this video, we'll be only discussing Chase Young from Xiaolin Showdown and not the Chase Young from Xiaolin Chronicles. And if you haven't seen the Part 1 and Part 2 version of this lore, I do urge you to do so before watching this video. A link for it will be in the description. And with that out of the way, please enjoy the video. At this time, Chase Young is at his evil lair, meditating, trying to think of new ways to make Omi join the Xiaolin side. But his meditation cannot go undisturbed, because with him is the evil Xiaolin witch Wuya, trapped in her ghostly form. Wuya asks Chase Young as to why he refuses to collect Shengon Wu, which he replies saying that he has no interest in them, and what's important to him right now is getting Omi to join the Xiaolin side. This only ponders Wuya even more, telling Chase Young that she doesn't understand as to why he's taken interest in Omi all of a sudden, which Chase Young responded with, "That's exactly the point, you don't understand," and tell her to leave him to his meditation. At this time, the Shengon Wu that goes by the name of Wushan Geyser revealed itself. This Shengon Wu gives the user the ability to erase his enemy's memories, and considering the power that this Shengon Wu possesses, Chase Young thinks that this Shengon Wu can be useful to him in the future to come. After finding the Wushu Geyser, the Xiaolin dragons then show up in order to take the Shengon Wu away from Chase Young, but expectedly, Chase Young knew that they would appear, and they were all eager to battle him. Confidently accepting the Xiaolin dragons' challenge, Chase Young then summoned his cat warriors to do battle with him, and once again, Chase Young and Omi engaged in battle. The battle was then interrupted by Jack Spicer, who was also seeking the Wushan Geyser, along with the assistance of the Cyclops monster. Despite this, Chase Young was able to dispatch of Jack Spicer and the Cyclops monster with little effort, but little did he know that Jack Spicer had a trick up his sleeve. Letting his guard down, Jack Spicer was able to trap Chase Young in a Shengon Wu that goes by the name the Spear of Yun. The Spear of Yun is a Shengon Wu that gives the user the ability to trap its victim in an indestructible spear, but not only that, it also grants the user possession of whatever the victim has. Because of this, Jack Spicer has now possession of all of Chase Young's powers, which includes controlling the cursed Jungle Cat warriors that are under Chase Young's command. After overpowering the Xiaolin dragons, Jack Spicer then decided it would be best to take Chase Young's evil lair all for himself. But Chase Young gives him a warning not to grow overconfident, but considering the fact that Jack Spicer is the one who have him in prison, he disregarded this warning and sets forth to claim his lair. After taking over the evil lair, Jack Spicer alongside with Cyclops and Chase Young's Jungle Cat army decided to raid the Xiaolin temple. And although Jack Spicer had to overcome the Xiaolin monks, he was able to overwhelm them with Chase Young's Jungle Cat army and take whatever Shengon Wu he could manage. Sometime afterward, Omi decided on his own that it would be best to free Chase Young from his imprisonment, mainly due to the fact that Jack Spicer have grown too much in power and too much for the Xiaolin dragons to handle. But not only that, Omi also sees this as an opportunity in order to repay Chase Young for his assistance in helping him defeat Sabini. But knowing that his friends would be against it, Omi sets out all on his own. Using the power of the Golden Tiger Claw Shengon Wu, Omi teleported to Chase Young's evil lair, only to find him still imprisoned in the Spear of Yun. Chase Young then asked Omi why he came, and Omi responded that he came to rescue him. But Chase Young knew full well what he really came for. And then, using the power of the Reversing Mirror Shengon Wu, Omi was able to reverse the effect of the Spear of Yun. Instead of keeping Chaseyoung captive, he was able to free him from his imprisonment. But it wasn't too long that both Omi and Chaseyoung once again engaged in battle. And just like last time, Chaseyoung was able to overpower Omi once again.
I owed you a favor, and now I have repaid it!
You may be closer than you think to joining me with that little white lie.
I do not lie!
Really? You mean you didn't free me for your own self-interest? To stop that nitwit Jack Spicer?
Well, maybe a little.
Isn't that what evil is all about? A lie here, a little bad there. Suddenly it's so easy.
Returning back to Chaseyoung's evil lair, Jack Spicer was shocked to see that Chaseyoung was released from the Spear of Yun. And in a last-minute effort, he tried his best to fight against Chaseyoung and Omi, but was ultimately defeated by both of them, even with the aid of Cyclops. While Omi was gathering the Shengon Wu that was stolen from the Xiaolin temple, Kimiko, Raimundo, and Clay arrived at Chaseyoung's evil lair, and they were wondering as to how Chaseyoung was able to escape the Spear of Yun. But Chaseyoung seized this as an opportunity to not only test Omi's skill, but to also make him feel indebted to him once again, and so he challenged him to a Xiaolin showdown. Wagering both the Orb of Tournami and the Shrouds of Shadow, Chaseyoung and Omi engage in a Xiaolin showdown about following the leader Kung Fu style. Both were an equal match for one another, but ultimately Omi won the showdown, or in this case, Chaseyoung let him win the showdown. And before parting ways, Omi silently gave Chaseyoung his gratitude for his help once again. Although it wasn't really explained, Chaseyoung was able to come into contact with another character throughout the Xiaolin Showdown series, a character that goes by the name of Germain. He decided to train Germain for a while, teaching him some martial art movesets, but this was all a part of his plan in order to test Omi once again. Specifically, he wants Germain and Omi to fight one another. Maybe it was because of the friendship that Omi and Germain shared, but the series never really explained it. In the short amount of time, Chaseyoung was able to train Germain to become a Shaolin Wudai warrior, which was a higher rank than a Shaolin apprentice. And soon afterward, Germain went to the Xiaolin temple, but it wasn't really stated if he went there of his own accord or Chaseyoung was the one who sent him there. But due to Germain being a higher rank than Omi, it didn't take too long for their friendship to turn into a scuffle due to Omi's jealousy. We can also speculate that this was also a part of Chaseyoung's plan. Still unaware of Chaseyoung's true nature, Germain leaves the Xiaolin temple and went back to Chaseyoung's lair so he can train with him for a while. It was here that Chaseyoung gave Germain his final task to retrieve the Shengon Wu that goes by the name the Golden Finger. This Shengon Wu gives the user the ability to freeze someone momentarily in time, but it wasn't the Shengon Wu that was important to Chaseyoung. It was the fact that Germain had to fight Omi in order to get it. And since he was aware that Jack Spicer was spying on him during this time, he allowed him to leave knowing full well he would make the Xiaolin dragons be aware of the situation. And so, he awaits the battle between Omi and Germain. As Chaseyoung predicted, Jack Spicer did indeed inform the Xiaolin dragons about Germain, and concerned about his safety, Omi put aside his jealousy about him and went off to save his friend. Chaseyoung predicted that the Xiaolin dragons would arrive, but he only wants Omi to fight Germain, so he did his best to make sure that Kimiko, Raimundo, and Clay doesn't intervene. Omi tried to warn Germain about Chaseyoung's evil nature, but Germain refused to listen to him, mainly due to the fact that he believed Omi is acting purely out of jealousy, and soon afterwards, both him, Omi, alongside with Jack Spicer and Tobimura, entered a Xiaolin showdown for the Golden Finger. Both Jack Spicer and Tobimura were dealt with very quickly, and soon it was only Germain and Omi left in the ring. Despite Germain having the upper hand, in a last-minute effort, Omi tried his best to make his friend realize that he's fighting on the wrong side, and not only that, he admits his mistake for being jealous of Germain. and it was right there and then Jermaine realized that Chi Xiang wasn't who he said he was, and reconsidered what he was doing. Despite what happened, Chi Xiang was very much pleased with the result, because at the end of the day it was Omi who won the Xiaolin Showdown, and because of that, he was more convinced than ever that Omi's place was with him on Vahalin's side. Some time has passed, and a new threat has awakened. It not only threatens the world itself, but also threatens Chi Xiang's plans for world domination. While Jack Spicer and the Xiaolin Dragons were fighting one another in order to retrieve a Shengon Wu that goes by the name Viadoku Mouse, Jack Spicer's Wormbot accidentally released some mythical creatures that are known as the Spiders. According to Master Feng, these spiders are neither good or evil, but are simply consumers. They will consume anything in their path until there's nothing left, and if left unchecked, they will consume the very planet itself. Chi Xiang believed that with the power of the Hodoku Mouse, they would be able to undo the damage, considering the fact that the Hodoku Mouse Shengon Wu has the ability to correct any type of errors that were made. And considering that it was Jack Spicer's machine that released the spiders in the first place, he made Jack Spicer assist him in fixing this problem. Chi Xiang, along with Wuya and Jack Spicer, went to the spot where the Hodoku Mouse was last spotted, but they ran into the Xiaolin Dragons along the way. Chi Xiang proposed to the Xiaolin Dragons that both good and evil need to put aside their differences in order to combat this new threat, but Jack Spicer and Omi were too battle-hungry in order to listen, and both enter a Xiaolin showdown for the Hodoku Mouse. Jack Spicer was the victor of the showdown, but before they were able to use the Shengon Wu, they were ambushed by the spiders. And during the chaos, the Hodoku Mouse dropped inside of a pool of lava, being lost forever. Due to the lava splitting the floor apart, Chi Xiang and Omi were separated from the rest of the group, but Kimiko throwed Omi the golden tiger claw so both he and Chi Xiang were able to escape. Since the Hodoku Mouse was lost forever, Chi Xiang had to think of an alternate way in order to get rid of the spiders, and fortunately, he already has a plan. If you can recall, we all know that Chi Xiang is in possession of a Shengon Wu that goes by the name the Eagle Scope, while the Xiaolin Dragons are in possession of a Shengon Wu that goes by the name the Fountain of Huey. If these two Shengon Wu are activated together at the same time, the user can use the abilities of it in order to find whatever information that they want, and Chi Xiang's plan is to use it to find information in order to defeat the spiders. Chi Xiang and Omi gather the two Shengon Wu in order to use it to find the information, but before they use both of them, Chi Xiang made Omi swear that he will never use the Shengon Wu in order to find information to destroy evil, and Omi gave his word. Using both Shengon Wu, Omi and Chi Xiang were able to find the weakness of these mythical spiders, which was revealed to be lava. But something else happened during that time. While Omi was looking for information in order to destroy the spiders, he also looked up information in order to destroy evil for good. But Chi Xiang was already prepared for this, because Chi Xiang is currently in possession of the Shengon Wu that is called the Reversing Mirror, which he was able to obtain when Jack Spicer stole from the Xiaolin Dragons. And using the power of the Reversing Mirror, instead of making Omi see how to destroy evil, he made him saw how to destroy good instead. And now it was up to Omi on whether or not he should use that information. Although Dojo managed to escape, Kimiko, Raimundo, and Clay alongside with Jack Spicer were captured by the spiders, and they were all taken to their nest. Chi Xiang along with Omi managed to regroup with Dojo, and the three of them soon went towards the spider's nest. But it wasn't too long until the group was ambushed by a swarm of spiders.
Viper striking rock, cheetah leaping tree, bear biting moose, wolf attacking ox.
That was most amazing.
You are most amazing, young monk.
Getting awfully chummy with the bad guy, huh?
Dojo, we have a world to save.
After defeating the swarm of spider, Omi and Chase Young then capture one of the spiders that is left alive and use the tongue of Saiping in order to interrogate it, in order to find the location of where their nest is. After finding the nest and rescuing everyone, Omi then takes Jack Spicer's drill vehicle and set it on autopilot so it can go underground and search for lava to trap the spiders once and for all. But it wasn't too long until the group encountered the queen spiders and her children. And in a last-minute effort to save himself, Jack Spicer stole the golden tiger claws from Omi and escaped, leaving everyone to fend for themselves. Soon afterwards, lava began to erupt, destroying the spiders and their nest along with them. And using the black beetle Shengon Wu, Omi, alongside with Chase Young and the rest of the Xiaolin dragons, were able to escape unharmed.
We make an even better team than just me. But now that we have fought as one, how will we ever battle again?
I'm sure we will find a way. This moment won't last forever, except in this moment of time.
Thank you all for watching the video. Be sure to like and subscribe so you can stay updated on future content. And expect part 4 to the Chase Young lore sometime in the near future. Anyway, stay safe out there and have a good day.